Actually threw him out my first big league game. He used to chew licorice, jumped over the foul line. Turk's a great guy. The big kahuna, Hawaiian punch, great dude. We got some cool stuff.
That was great.
Yeah,
no, that was
cool,
awesome.
Man.
What's up, guys? Jeff over here for another episode of Ripping Packs. We're here at the 2024 National. This place is full of the coolest cards you've ever seen and some legendary athletes like this gentleman next to me, Hall of Famer Mike Piazza. How are you, Mike?
How are you, Jeff? Nice to meet you, man.
Well, so how are things going for you at the National? You having fun?
Everything's good. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's the size of it and all the people here have been great. So, you know, it's just cool.
So are you or were you ever a card collector?
I was. Recently, I was at my mother's house and going through some old things. So I uncovered some of the stuff from my youth, and it's still in good
childhood collection.
Yeah, it's true. I think it was what was the psychedelic? Was it 74 or 75?
75. Yes.
75. Actually, have a Hank Aaron from that year from the Brewers.
So we've got 92, which has your rookie card. We got 1999 first Mets card, and then 2001. We want to talk about a very special home run from that season.
Sure.
I want to remind the folks at home, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. We create great content. We get people like Mike Piazza on the show. Check out the Topps YouTube. So these are the 92 Bowman with the rookie card in it.
Cool. So we're gonna go through these.
Yeah, let's check
see
these
what we
out.
find.
Yeah. All right, these are cool because they all had one gold foil. So there's a Manny Ramirez gold foil. That's a pretty cool card. You won the NL Rookie of the Year in '93. What did that feel like?
That was pretty cool. I mean, because I came up with the Dodgers team, and we had a real veteran staff. You know, Orel Hershiser and Kevin Gross and Pedro Martinez before we traded them. So for me as a rookie to catch these guys that I really looked up to was really cool, and great team to come up with, great city to come up to. I mean, LA was fun.
Now, did you always play catcher? Even
no, I converted as a catcher when I signed with the Dodgers in '88. So I actually was at instructional league, and coaches were like, if you don't play another position, you better go home, because I wasn't going to play first base.
Gosh.
And I was a first baseman coming up, and then decided I better catch.
And so
it was a good decision. Jerome Walton actually threw him out my first big league game. Sorry, bud. In Chicago. I bounced the throw.
Did you?
But it was a good.
You still got him out.
There's no photos in the scorecard. That's for
that
sure.
is
Turk Wendell, look, Turk, crazy Turk, number 99. Used to brush his teeth between innings. Wore turkey bones around his neck.
Is that right?
Yeah, he used to chew licorice. Jumped over the foul line. Turk's a great guy.
I cheated a little bit, and I brought one of your rookie cards here, just in case like we didn't pull one from a pack. I would love to get you to autograph that.
Yeah.
Maybe we can give that out to one of the folks here watching live.
Cool.
Now, do you remember taking this? Do you really?
This
Tell us the
was
story
me.
behind
This
that.
is catching a bullpen in Fort Lauderdale. So at that time, it was still the Yankees. So the Yankees used to train in Fort Lauderdale. I remember this well.
So the next stop in your career is 1999.
99.
We have our first Mets card here.
Cool.
You grew up a Phillies fan.
I did.
Were you excited to be heading back east?
Yeah, and it was like, I'd always got up for the games against Phillies, because when I was an amateur, the Philly scouts didn't really like me that much. So when I went and played Philly, I was super motivated and always played well at Veterans Stadium.
What was the big difference for you playing in LA versus playing in New York?
I mean, two completely different markets. Obviously, LA was beautiful weather and Dodger Stadium, and just chill, and New York's like a cauldron. It was really an honor for me at the prime of my career to play in both places. Not a lot of guys can say that. Is this the Mula? Is this Pedro Estacio? Can you read that?
Yes, it is. Yep.
So I caught Pedro Estacio.
Very nice.
The Mula. And I caught him with the Dodgers and faced him with the Rockies. So guy I remember very well.
So this is the card from that year, from 1999. I'm gonna have you sign that so we can give that one away too.
Well, it's obviously a day game, so it's probably hungover. No, I'm kidding. Just joking.
No, this is the insight we want.
Yeah. I remember day games I wanted to play because the ball carried better than at night.
Sure.
So there was a lot of times where I would crawl off the training table to play day games. I was like telling the trainers, just get me on the field. So on the back, this is kind of cool. We didn't have our names on the uniforms.
Oh, okay.
So here's a little tidbit.
Yeah. All right, we're in the home stretch here, Mike.
All right.
So we got 2001 Topps.
Here's a Pudge Fix.
There we go.
Look at this. Carlton Fisk, the famous Go Fair home run. Carlton's here today, so I got to see him, fellow Hall of Fame catcher.
Yes, sir.
Jeff Conine came up with the Marlins. We were both rookies. 93, had a good year. Fortunately, I beat him out as the Rookie of the Year that year, but he played very well.
Just a collector question. If you could collect any modern day player, who would you collect?
The first modern Japanese player to come into the league was Hideo Nomo. I played with him with the Dodgers. And so I really think it's interesting, the impact that Japanese players have made in Major League Baseball. I mean, I remember playing against Ichiro. We did a tour of Japan in '96.
Okay.
And we had a great team. I mean, we had myself and Sheffield and Galarraga and Barry Bonds and Pudge. I looked at him and I go, honestly, he wasn't a huge guy, but when I first saw him play it, I was like, this dude is incredible. When I saw him, I was like, this guy is gonna do okay.
He's gonna be all right.
And he goes out and wins Rookie of the Year and MVP. I'm like, he's really having a hard time adjusting to the major leagues.
Right.
I got a Benny Agbayani, the big kahuna, Hawaiian Punch. Great dude. Our trainer used to do cutouts, a sumo wrestler, and then put a Mets uniform on it. We would say, Benny Agbayani. It was like, here's your baseball cards. So that was pretty good. You had to have thick skin on a team.
Of course.
But Benny was great.
You were still playing in New York, September 21st, 2001, 10 days after the 9/11 terror attacks. I believe this was the first sporting event in New York after everything happened.
Yeah.
The Mets were trailing 2-1, bottom of the 8th. You step up, hit a 2-run home run.
Yeah.
I mean, it's historic. What can you tell us about that?
Well, I mean, obviously, 9/11 is still very fresh in my mind, even as the years go on. I think back, it still makes me sad. I mean, obviously, it was a tremendous tragedy. A lot of people, a lot of families were affected. And it was tough. It was tough for New York. It was tough for us as a nation. But I do remember that everyone came together, eventually got back on the field, and it was a magical night, really. I mean, the emotion was very high. And
I can imagine.
I was just blessed, man. I was in the right place at the right time and took a good swing. Remember the first pitch I took, and I said to myself, it's probably the best pitch I'm gonna get. And Carsey, who, threw really well, he had a great curveball. He didn't throw me the curveball a lot. I was thinking he might throw it. So when I picked up the fastball right away, I just down over the plate and put a good swing on it, and fortunately hit that big home run, which is mentioned on my Hall of Fame plaque. It's really cool.
That's a historic
Thank
moment.
you.
One that I'm sure will always be,
Cool.
a topic of conversation when your career comes up.
Thank you. I think that's about it. We got some cool stuff.
That was great.
Yeah,
no, that was
cool,
awesome.
Man. A lot of Hall of Famers in here.
It was a real pleasure having a chance to sit down and breaking some packs with you. Thank you for your time, Mr. Piazza. Enjoy the National.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll see you guys later.